I am Rashawn McDonald, the host of Money Making Conversation Masterclass, where we encourage people to stop reading other people's success stories and start planning their own. Join us as we travel across the country, visiting small businesses and interviewing celebrities to see how they're running their companies and nonprofits who are making a difference in their local communities. Now sit back and watch as we unlock the secrets to their success. Welcome to Money Making Conversation Masterclass. I'm your host of the show, Rashawn McDonald. We're down here in Atlanta to meet the one and only Kier Jr. Spates, one of the stars of the popular radio show called Steve Harvey Morning Show. He has a plan down here, a plan to change the lives of people who are affected by sickle cell disease. He has the disease, but he wants to let you know it can't stop you from dreaming. He has a podcast. He has a foundation called Kier's Hope. Now, you'll be able to hear his story and why he's changing the game and why the community is being impacted by his personal efforts. Please don't go nowhere. We're about to meet the one and only Kier Jr. Spates.
I'm Kier Jr. Spates, founder of Kier's Hope Foundation.
I'm here in Atlanta, Georgia, with the one and only Kier Jr. Spates. How you doing, my brother?
Good, brother. How you
I know
doing,
you get up early, man.
Yeah, dude. I get up, man.
Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Every morning, dude.
Well, good. How does it feel to be a part of an engine like that has been, it changes the community, and you're also personally changing the community. Tell us your backstory about the Steve Harvey Morning Show.
I met Steve in LA back in 2001. Mm-hmm. And then I got a phone call saying, hey, you want to go on the road with Steve in 2009. Mm-hmm. Then went down to Miami, opened up for him, got another phone call. Hey, you do anything this weekend? Want to go to Philly? And I was trying to figure out, how come they keep calling? Who all said no to find me, who was not famous, nobody knows, just a comedian? Mm-hmm. A lot of people had to be in the way before we get to me.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm so glad he did find me. Mr. Harvey is a very powerful influence on a lot of young comedians, you know, including myself. So then, I get a call, 2011. Hey, man, I want to talk to you about changing not just your life, but not your career, but your life.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And that call came from Rashawn McDonald. I'll never forget that day, man. And it was just so much to learn. Uh-huh. I did not know a lot of the things that I did know as a comedian because I wasn't taught the right way.
Right.
And all I was just really working off of was pure talent.
Right.
That's all I had. I learned the actual business of comedy, the business of radio. Right. And then you put all those things together, and you have a disease. And Mr. Harvey and I said, can't sit on my show and not have a cause. Mm-hmm. And that's how I started my foundation, Kier's Hope.
Kier's Hope.
Yes, sir.
It was foundation. Now, you met him in 2001. Mm-hmm. Went on the road with him in 2009. Mm-hmm. What year did you start your foundation?
2012.
2012.
2013.
2013. And that was his cause. He said sitting on the radio show with a cause for the community. For the community. But you have a bigger cause because you actually have sickle cell disease.
Yes. The thing about that, man, is they told me at 7 that it was over. Mm-hmm. My parents didn't know.
You said over. What do you mean?
My life was over. I'm going to die.
It's 7.
At 7. They told me at 7 that I only had to live till 11 years old. Mm-hmm. And, I think about the pressure that it puts on my parents because they really thought my son, my firstborn son, won't make it past 11 years old. And he's already 7. Mm-hmm. And I was only diagnosed at 7. So, that's 7 years of my parents not knowing what is actually wrong with my child. Right. Mm-hmm. And, it's crazy, man.
So, in and out of the hospital?
In and out of the hospital. Mm-hmm. Really, right after about when I was diagnosed, they understood. And then because I was so active as a child, I went back in, in and out the hospital. Right. So, probably in a year, I probably would have like 4 or 5 visits. Mm-hmm. That's extremely high. Wow. For a kid. Mm-hmm. That's a lot of medication you put inside of a kid. Mm-hmm. And so that got me to thinking about and really find out who all out here has sickle cell. Right. Because at my school, I'm the only one I know.
About the sickle cell community.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I when I was at school, I was the only one that I knew had sickle cell. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to find out, who's all into this community and who are doing the positive things in this community? You know, who are the people who are all out here with sickle cell just like me, but don't believe that their life is over because they got diagnosed with something that could kill them.
Right.
You know, and so I took that 11 years old real personal.
Right.
You know, I made that my number 11. I was playing sports.
So you played athletics.
I played athletics, I played football, I played basketball, ran track, and they told me that you weren't gonna live past 11. So I took that personal. That my life can be just as great as anyone else's with anything, just because I have sickle cell, and you stereotype me as if I have to go with 11 years old. I didn't want to die at 11. Nobody does.
Right.
You know, and so that was a hard thing for me to accept. So I took it personal.
Right.
I wanted to be the best football player I could be. I wanted to be the best basketball player I could be. I want to show you on the track. I'm going to show you how fast people with sickle cell really are.
But the ignorance of sickle cell
Yes.
sidetracked your sports career.
It did.
Talk to us.
A team doctor came that year, in my senior year. I had been in this program for at least 5 years, playing for this one school. And they get a new team doctor. And another player on the team said, "Hey, Doc, he has sickle cell." Doc says, "Take him off team right now." That's all it was. No, let's go find out how we can help him play football. None of that. Doctor says, no, he has sickle cell. Take him off.
Wow.
And let me tell you, this is in my senior year.
Scholarship.
Scholarships are on the line, and you snatch me. That whole moment made me understand that I don't want this to happen to another person with sickle cell. I don't want nobody to have this feeling. And I made a promise to myself that I would never let sickle cell rob me of another thing. And that's why I said I choose to live my life in a way that I want other people with sickle cell to say, "Man, I'm inspired.
Right.
Look what he's doing."
So your foundation is about motivation and inspiration.
It's about motivation, inspiration. It's about showing people that your life can be just as amazing if you just dream it.
Cool. Now, 2013, that's when you started the foundation. How does one start a foundation? How does that's a great idea, but how does one start a foundation?
Well, I called some people who had foundations and asked them. And
mentorship.
Yeah, mentorship. And, you know, they went down there and actually filled out all the paperwork for me. And they brought me back the approval that I had a 501c3. And, man, I went right to work. I mean, because I had no idea. You understand, you know, starting something like that, and you've never done it, because I'm just a comedian. I don't know, you know, all the rules and laws.
Right.
You know, I'm not down there. I said, man, but I want it. You know, because I was working with another foundation, and they just didn't really want to do what I wanted to do.
Didn't have your vision.
They didn't have the vision.
Okay.
And so I said, okay, why not just go start my own?
Yeah. So it's important when you talk about the secrets to your success. If you have a vision and it's not being shaped, and it's being shaped in a different direction, then you should take control of it.
You got to take control of it. Yeah, that's one thing about it, is that what I had envisioned for people with sickle cell was not theirs.
Right.
And so, yeah, I took it on personally and say, okay, I'll tell you what. If you don't like the idea that I have, because why are we still in the state that we're still in? How come everybody feels the way they feel about sickle cell? They don't know anything about it. If everybody get to look on their face, what is it? I thought they cured that. No. No. Because I'm still here.
Right.
I'm still dealing. I'm still here. Let me know where you hear about it at. What store is it at? I can go get it. And so what I did that, man, and then I started seeing the need for inspiration.
Right.
I would go to sickle cell conferences, and I started seeing people just say, "I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I don't know if I'm gonna live past this." And man, I said, "Who told you that?"
Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Welcome back to the Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by Rashawn McDonald.
So when they talk about stereotypes,
Yeah.
you were told at 7 you wouldn't live past 11.
Yeah.
So there are adult people or people in their 20s have that same death.
Yeah, that whole thing.
I'm going to die mentality.
I'm going to die.
Which means that they don't foresee a future.
No, a lot of them feel like I'm just going to be this. But then we went on this journey on Living Your Life, the podcast,
Oh, okay.
And I started finding out.
Okay, let's not get to it. Living your life. What exactly is? You said it's a podcast.
Okay, it's a podcast I do. It's about it's about the community of sickle cell. It's about the lifestyle that we have. It's about the doctors. It's about the people who have foundations like myself. It's about the inspiration. It's about motivating. It's about finding out really who you are in the sickle cell community.
I'm Kier Spates, Junior from the Steve Harvey Morning Show, and I'm also a sickle cell warrior. I host a new inspiring podcast called Living Your Life. Each week, join me and my board-certified medical co-host, Dr. Corey Hebert, as we meet incredible people who refuse to let a life-threatening illness hold them back from success. Plus, we'll talk with today's top medical, community, and entertainment influencers.
Please follow us and tell a friend to follow us on our social media handles and spread the word about Living Your Life podcast, where we explore the inspiring stories of people.
And you'll find a lot of people who are dealing with the same thing and have the same like-mindedness that I do about sickle cell, which is like, hey, have you guys seen this? That'll take away the whole woe is me and all this. Look what they're doing. I mean, people have their own foundations at 17. Young people have CBOs at 20. They're all teaching somebody something. They're all working together. And that's what I enjoy. When I found out, not even just here, across the world.
Okay, so your podcast is not a domestic only podcast.
No, because sickle cell is not a domestic. I don't think about sickle cell as just an American issue or a black issue. It's a global issue.
Wow.
It's the first issue of mankind. It was sickle cell. That's a blood disorder. Blood cells are shaped like half sickles. That's the first issue in mankind's history. So why would I limit it to black people?
Right.
I found out that Asians have sickle cell. I found out Swedish
That's a
people-
stereotype that we have. That basically sickle cell in the United States. That's a black person's or African American
it's an
illness.
American disease. No, it's not. No, it's not. South Africans who they have sickle cell. It's global. Iran, the Middle East. Okay, you got Europe. That sickle cell is everywhere. So why I'm going to treat this like an American issue when it's a global issue?
Right. So let me ask you this question. So the words, you have sickle cell disease, right?
sir.
So are all sickle cell disease the same?
No.
Educate us.
They're not all the same. Everybody has a what they call a hemoglobin, right? So my type is SC. Okay, that's my globin type, SC. Some other people may have type SS. That some other people may have another type, fatal thalassemia. Is so many of them. It doesn't matter your type. The one thing we all affected by is pain. We're all affected by issues with spleen. We're all affected by it. It doesn't matter if you have sickle cell. You're affected by the stereotypes, the mental health.
Right.
All of these things that you've been fighting daily.
Right.
If you go to the hospital, and another stereotype that we have is that when we go to the hospital and we're in pain, they call us drug seekers.
Wow.
And I'm in there to be treated just like anybody else. But no, they said, well, he's only in here because he wants opioids, so he's a drug seeker. And that'll mess with.
And you're in the middle of a crisis.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of a crisis. Yeah, and that will help. That will really mess with your mind growing up, because why they just won't treat me, like they treat everyone else. And then so you start seeing that in a lot of people as well. Like, they won't give me the drugs I need. I won't get the care. So now we have to go advocate for this person. Now we're gonna go talk on their behalf.
Right.
They say, hey, y'all are doing an injustice to this person. Now, you have people who have, when they were not treated, sometimes they end up dying.
Wow.
Because they don't have the care. Because a doctor or a nurse said, I don't believe you.
Right.
You say your pain is 10. You can't look like pain.
So your whole thing with your foundation is about motivation.
Absolutely.
Ending medical ignorance.
Yes.
And stigmas that lead to stereotypes.
That's exactly right.
And I guess the bigger thing is that turning people who have sickle cell disease into dreamers.
Yes. That's a big part of it. You know, and now what you're doing now, Matt, what you just described is what our logo says, working to change the shape of sickle cell. So, you know, man, the thing what you just described is what we're working to do. Now you start to see that, just like our logo says, we're working to change the shape of sickle cell.
The shape of
Yeah,
sickle
but
cell.
see, that's the perception. See, all those things take to change the perception of sickle cell. And that's what we work towards. That's what we do.
Well, let's talk about your impact. You know, you're on a big mega horn, the Steve Harvey Morning Show. You're born and raised in Houston, Texas.
Yes, sir.
And the state of Texas recognized your work, correct?
Yes, they did. About 5 years ago, they gave me a state proclamation, which I'm very proud of. You know, being from Texas and your state recognized you, that's a big deal, man. They actually gave me an entire month called Kier's Hope Sickle Cell Awareness Month in the month of June. And that will live on forever. And that's when I knew I was making an impact. At this time, I actually saw it.
That led to races, I think charity races or
Yes.
fundraising races or a brand awareness of races for sickle cell,
Yeah,
correct?
it's for sickle cell. It's a fundraiser, but the point of it is to get the community to get behind and see it, come out here and find out exactly what sickle cell is. I mean, it's a race, yes, but you need to see that these people will come and walk for them. They'll run for them. I don't care if you ride your bike for them. You just need to understand that these are people too, and they're part of our community. And so when the state of Texas gave me that proclamation, and my grandmother was alive to see it,
Wow.
that's where it lives. It lives in her home. I don't even have it at my house. It's at her home. The original is in the state capitol, but the replica is in her home of the proclamation. So,
Congratulations. Now, because of that, you have a race. You have annual races that you do.
Yeah.
Tell us about those races.
well, we do that in Dallas, and I'm going to do one here in Atlanta. What we do with those races is the funds that we raise, the money I raise, I go do junior class in a different city every year. And what I do is I try
So a
to
race in Dallas,
I do a race in Dallas, but
and
the
then
funds,
a race in
I've done
Atlanta.
I'm gonna do a race in Atlanta, and so I've done them. I've done them in Memphis. I've done it to give away junior class in Dallas. I've done it.
Okay, what exactly is junior class?
Junior class is the fun thing I get to do
For kids.
for kids and families. You know, because sickle cell affects not just the person with sickle cell, but the entire family unit. Because see, when a person with sickle cell goes into the hospital, then mom, dad got to take off. Brother and sister have to come down there. We're losing income in the home. It affects a lot of things. So what I do is I take care of the entire family's Christmas.
Right.
I take the funds that we raise. I'll go to a city. Like this year, it's going to be Norfolk. I got a few elves up there. I'm going to go help me do this. And I'm going to take 10 families.
Norfolk, Virginia.
Norfolk, Virginia. And I'm going to take 10 families, and buy. We're going to buy Christmas for them, because in December, sickle cell patients have a hard time with cold weather. So
Now, how are these families selected? These sickle cell families, these are teens or young kids who are impacted by the sickle cell disease.
right, and what I do is I work with an organization down there who's already in the community, who already knows these families, and we'll screen them. We'll talk to them. We'll find out what their needs are, what they really want. You know, I try to give them Christmas, because at any moment they could go end up in the hospital. And I've been in the hospital and woke up on Christmas, and it's no fun.
Right.
And so, you know, we'll go there. We'll have lunch. We'll have a lunch or brunch there. Or we'll have Santa Claus there. He'll be there. And I bring Santa with me. He comes and pass out the toys, and you get to see
Santa out there working for the kids with sickle
Santa
cell.
out here working for sickle cell. You know, he cares. So we do all of those things, man. And it's just a way that I give back, and I try to show my concern and let the families know that I'm here for you too. And that's another way we just motivate and we inspire.
Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with more Money Making Conversations Masterclass. Welcome back to the Money Making Conversations Masterclass, hosted by Rushion McDonald.
Now, the very popular Living Your Life podcast, like you told us earlier, is worldwide. It's not a domestic show. You can see the episodes on YouTube. I went online, I saw likes, 12,000 likes on some of your posts, but you're not doing that show by yourself. Who is your co-host?
Oh, my co-host is Dr. Corey Hebert, Chief Medical Officer at Dillard University. He is really into, he's been working in this area for a very long time, so he understands patients from a patient's perspective of sickle cell because he studies it. He understands that we have to make some changes and we have to get registered and get tested to find out if you have the sickle cell trait, which can lead to people like me. And I know a lot of people who may not know that they have the trait and they understand that one day you could possibly have a me. And I'm talking about at 7 years old, somebody's probably going to tell them their life will be over at 11. And what I'm trying to do is let you know is that that's not have to be your truth. Your truth can be whatever you want it to be.
Right.
And that's what we work on, living your life at Dr. Corey Hebert.
Cool. So just try to track on your busy schedule. Steve Harvey Morning Show.
Yes, sir.
Living Your Life.
Yes, sir.
Motivational podcast, YouTube show.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Foundation, Kier's Hope Foundation.
Yes, sir.
5K races.
Yes, sir.
One in Dallas, one in Atlanta, Georgia.
Yes, sir.
And then Junior Claus.
Yes, sir.
Where toys are donated to your foundation.
Yes, sir.
And you distribute these toys to kids and families impacted by the sickle cell disease.
Yes, sir.
That's your schedule. That's how you're changing the community. Can you do something else?
Yes, sir.
Are you that busy?
I can do it.
I'm so happy to hear that you, instead of sitting around and just being a success, that you are motivated to change people's lives. What's the future of you, and what advice would you give to somebody who wants to start a foundation?
My advice, if you want to start a foundation, is go do it. See, the longer you think about it, the time is slipping. And then when the time is slipping, we can't get our goals. And so if you actually thinking about doing this, I would suggest you really go ahead and do it because, first of all, you need two things. You need some empathy and you need some motivation. Those two things, if you can understand a person's plight, and it drives you to say, I want to change something for that person, it don't have to be 10,000. But if you do it 10,000 times once, it's 10,000. It doesn't have to be in masses. I did this for a number of years and accumulated the people that we have. That's what I did.
Awesome. If you have a minute, I want to share something with you. Walmart Business Plus has a surprise for you.
For me.
Yes, sir. And your foundation.
Really?
Yes. Before we wrap up the conversation, Walmart Business has a little surprise for you, Junior, and your foundation, Kier's Hope, because of the work you're doing in the community.
Really?
They're setting you up with a 6-month Walmart Business Plus membership, so that's free shipping and limited time offers on products for business owners and foundations like yours, with 2% rewards on purchases. You get 2% rewards back on purchases over $250.
Oh, man.
And you're getting a $1,000 e-gift card to spend on whatever you need. All you have to do is go to business.walmart.com with that $1,000 e-gift card. I know you got the race coming up in Dallas, the race coming up in Atlanta, and I know you got the Junior Claus. Hopefully this will help you out.
It will help me out, man.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you,
Kier's
brother.
Hope, man.
I can't take
Living
it.
your life.
Oh, man.
Hey.
You know what, man?
Proclamations.
Let me tell you what I'm doing right now. I'm finna go to Walmart right now. Thank you, Walmart.
They gave you an e-card, yeah.
Yeah.
That's online. Thank you.
Oh.